Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to GTYar. I would like to take a moment to talk about the humble and faithful Mazda 3. And not just this Mazda 3, all Mazda 3s. This one specifically is a 2012 model. It is a lower end model. I think it's an S. They call it the Sport or S. And it is just the best daily driver you can get for the money. I love this car. Not just because it does everything I ask of it, but because it costs so little to acquire. So I bought this car a little over a year ago for $3,900, okay, from a dealership, right? Which, that price is not bad at a dealership. It had about 140,000 miles on it at the time. It was in good condition. It had new tires on it. It was relatively clean. I mean, not perfect. There is some dents and bumps and scratches, and you know, it's a 2012, so you're gonna expect some wear and tear on it. But for the money, for $3,900, I have a fully functional, quiet, safe, reliable car that I've been driving every day since I bought it. I have another car. It's the Fiat 500, which I usually drive on the weekends. But this is my daily driver, and I just have to applaud how great these cars are. I've owned 3 Mazda 3s before this one, so I do have an affinity for these cars. But just like the Civic and the Corolla, Mazda's right up there in that category of reliability, and I think the fun factor on Mazdas is a little more than the Civic and the Corolla. Those cars are obviously great cars. They're amazing. They sell like hotcakes, and they last forever too. But for the money, I'd like to get something with a little more styling and I don't know, just a little more sex appeal, if you want to call it that. All the Mazdas I've ever owned are very good-looking cars, inside and out. And I had to take a moment to just applaud how great Mazdas in general are. I've never had like a Mazda SUV. I've stuck with the smaller hatchbacks and sedans. But this one is hands down absolutely phenomenal. Let me give you a couple more reasons why. I bought it for $3,900, and I honestly have not put one penny into maintenance for this car, except for oil changes, of course. I have not fixed anything. I haven't tuned it, nothing. I've just changed the oil a couple times, and it's running. It's fine. You know, the dealer gave it to me in good enough condition with the new tires. I don't really have to do much to it, at least in my first year of ownership. But you know, the car had 140-something thousand miles on it when I bought it. I haven't done really anything to it except for the oil changes, and it's still quiet. It still, you know, does everything I ask of it. There's no weird clunks or rattles or squeaks. These cars might not be very exciting, but they do the job. And this one specifically does it with some style, and I really appreciate that. I really respect Mazda for always taking the time to make their cars beautiful, make their cars' driving experience just as fun as they can be for the money you're spending. And my God, for $3,900, what can you buy for $3,900? Sure, there's a bunch of cars you can get out there, but are they as reliable as this Japanese-built inline-4 timing chain engine car, right? That's another reason why I picked this car. It's an inline-4 timing chain, and here's the most important part: it's a non-interference engine. So if the chain for some reason did go or skip or whatever, it's not going to destroy the engine. I think that's so overlooked these days. Is what is the power plant? What is its reliability? And if something does go wrong, does it completely destroy the power plant? You know, there's so many cars with turbos now and high compression ratio cylinders, and geez, if something goes wrong, even something small, I feel like the motor's gonna be shot. But this car, it's like the AK-47 of cars. It's just like, you can drive it, heck, you can beat on it if you want. If something does go wrong, like that important with the timing chain, hey, no big deal. You know, you just take it to a person who knows what they're doing. They can realign everything, put a new chain on, put new guides on, and the car's running again. I love that. So that's something I look for in a car. Is it a non-interference motor, and is it a timing chain? What's its reliability? What is the transmission like? Does it come from a reliable source or manufacturer? I mean, these are all the little details that when you put them together and you put it into a car like this, you've got just a superb example of a daily driver that is kind of cool. It's like cooler than well, in my opinion, cooler than a Corolla or cooler than a Civic. Geez, oh, I didn't even mention the fuel economy. This thing is getting about 37 miles per gallon. That is absolutely impressive. You buy a car for less than 4,000 bucks. You don't have to put anything into it maintenance-wise, and it's giving me 37 miles per gallon average. That is phenomenal. Come on, you can't go buy a Prius, a used Prius for that much. And yeah, that's gonna give you like over 40 miles per gallon, but that's a Prius. That's not a car to me. A Prius is an appliance with wheels attached to it. There is no excitement or fun driving a Prius. These cars, way cooler, way less complicated. There's no hybrid system here. It's just that inline four, everything else, you know, front wheel drive, simple car. Look, simple as it gets. I know this is the lowest model, so you're not going to get any fancy gadgets or screens or anything, but this is, I mean, dude, you can't get any better than this. You're going to get high fuel economy. You're going to have almost nothing going wrong because there's not much to break, right? And it's going to get you where you need to go safely and in style. So, you know, I just want to take a moment to express how much I appreciate this car and all Mazda 3s for their styling, for their reliability, and just for their everyday drivability. They're just great cars, and what a value, honestly, for the money I spent and for the money anyone can pick these up for, privately or at a dealership. Just the best value you can get for your money for a stylish daily driver. So those are my 2 cents. Anyways, thanks for watching. Buckle up, put down that phone, and enjoy the drive. We'll see you on the next one. You know what? There's one more thing I wanted to show everybody about this car and cars like this. I think this is also a very important point, is the amount of room that you get in the engine bay, right? So let's take a quick look here. I'm gonna open this up, if I can find it. Just the amount of room there is to access things like the headlights, if you want to change a bulb, you know, if you want to do any work on the engine, everything's easy to access, everything's exposed. See, you can actually get your hand back here to actually change the light bulbs. That is fantastic right there. Just tons and tons of room in the engine bay, so that if you did have to work on the vehicle, it's all right here. You got plenty of space to do it. It's going to be less money for a mechanic to work on this car. It's going to take less time to do things on it. And it's just such a simple engine. I mean, what could go wrong, honestly? This is one of the more simple engines out there. And I know it's not fast, but geez, the reliability. It's to me, that's an important thing for cars in general, is how reliable is it? Because you don't want to go out there and get stuck for some little tiny glitch or problem. You want to be able to drive. That's the whole point, right? So let's do a quick walk around while we're out here. These are the factory wheels that I decided to upgrade with gold paint. They were a little rusty and a little beat up, so that gold paint just kind of gives it a little more pizzazz. But yeah, check it out. $3,900. Not bad at all. Takes me everywhere. Up to New Hampshire, Maine, whatever. The only thing that stinks about this car is there's no cruise control on it. And I didn't know that it did not have cruise control until a couple days after I had purchased it. So, something I overlooked, but whatever. I still would have bought it. Anyways, there she is, the Humble Mazda 3.